Belinda, we last spoke in September when schools were reopening and most of the government support schemes were nearing an end. Now the pandemic has accelerated and we're back in lockdown. We're still living through some difficult times, but the rollout of the vaccines have given us hope. Given that backdrop, what is the status of the job market in Cheltenham and Gloucestershire?
Well, thank you, Dan. The current market, what I've been looking at it today actually, is we here on GlosJobs, we've got 8% more roles advertised than we did have in September. So it's down on what it would normally be at this time of year, especially in January, February time. But a significant increase generally, which I think is really encouraging. Some of the roles are getting so many applicants. I was looking at a couple of roles that had over 100 applications. So there's fewer jobs and lots of people looking.
Wow. Are the government's employment programs having the desired effect, do you think?
Well, they're obviously really helping with helping keep the jobs. The job retention scheme has been extended to the end of April this year. And even though there has been a significant increase in redundancies, as reported recently by the Office of National Statistics, they, particularly in age groups, actually 25 to 34, there's been a big increase in redundancies in that age group, which is quite surprising, I think. But the JRS job retention scheme, with the part-time furloughing in particular, is helping people to keep their jobs and helping the businesses to keep the staff that they want.
What sectors do you think are doing well and those that are not doing so well?
Well, interestingly, again, before coming on for this interview, I had a bit of a look, and with some of there's some new roles that have appeared. So things like deep cleaning roles, and a lot of the kind of admin and support roles for vaccination and just generally for COVID roles. So lots in healthcare, support roles within healthcare are growing, and they're getting a lot of applications as well, I've noticed. And then obviously some of the roles that are some of the areas that are struggling. Oh, and warehouse and retail mail order. There's also an increase in those. Some of the roles which we've got significantly fewer of are retail generally. Obviously the shops aren't open. Retail, hospitality, hotel, and restaurants are obviously all closed, so they're not looking to recruit at the moment. So it's quite a mixed story, really.
Right. So those that are, benefiting from the need of the lockdown are doing well, and naturally the retail and leisure industry are still taking a hit. So,
Yes,
what
exactly.
for young job seekers and entrepreneurs? What's happening with them?
Well, interestingly, the kickstart scheme that the government announced last year and has been rolling out pretty much since November last year. I'm just going to check my notes. It was reported on the BBC recently that they've had 120,000 roles created, but they've only had 2,000 young people who've actually started, which in a way isn't that surprising, I don't think. But there was the BBC reporting a bit of a hoo-ha. But I think that it's difficult to start a young person during a lockdown. I mean, you're trying to induct and onboard somebody if we're under work from home order. So I can understand that that's a problem. And also I think there's a bit of a bottleneck at the DWP as well. So I think that those roles will come through, but the Kickstart will be a good scheme for a lot of young people and local companies.
And do you think, given all that, do you think more government support programs are needed?
There are still some people who've had no support. Some of the company directors who've kind of fallen through the net. There's people in Gloucestershire, I know that's the case, that can't trade but have had no government support. But I think that the furlough scheme running till the end of April, we'll have to wait and see. I mean, they've said schools aren't going back till the 8th of March. We'll have to see what happens in that window after that period. And like I've said, the part-time furlough is really helping companies and the workforce.
Mm-hmm. And do you see any green shoots of recovery and those that, as we eventually come out of this, you think will do well? Do you think?
I think one of the things that I'm finding most positive at the moment is the attitude of local business owners and business people. So for me, a lot of companies have realized that they need to need to partner up, need to work with their existing clients, and almost support each other. We're a small local business right in the heart of the community, and we deal with a lot of similar people. And I've even noticed that people seem to have more time to be more courteous in their emails, a bit more chatty on the phone, and seemingly a bit more caring. And I'm hoping that that carries forward into wherever we're going. There's obviously opportunities. Quite a few businesses have pivoted their offering, and some are doing quite well from that. So there are going to be opportunities. There's tricky times ahead for us all, but if we all pull together and we take the opportunities together, I think we're going to be okay. So yeah.
Well, that's a great note to end on. Belinda Wilson, GlosJobs, as always, thanks very much.
My pleasure. Thank you.